Well, hello everyone. Welcome to this new live stream here on Access the Animus. My name is Marco, and today we have so much to discuss about Assassin's Creed Mirage. Today the embargo for the previews was lifted at last. We have been preparing some content for quite some time. It's been a week since we've been working on content to create and to share with you guys, not just today, but over the coming days as well. So hello, welcome. Hello Bruno, hello Skata, hello Jonathan. We have created this live stream specifically for you. We have played 3.5 hours of Mirage in different settings of the game and a different time throughout the progression of the game. And we wanted to have this live stream specifically for you, to answer all the questions that you might have about Mirage, about gameplay, about story. We're not going to go too much into the spoilers, and we do not know a lot of the story ourselves. So any question you might have, anything at all, just share it with us. Hello Hunter Ghost, hello Steven, hello Ryan, hello Laredde Erudito, Nazarko, hello Hernan, one of our Assassin's Creed
No.
ATA insiders. I am old, by the way. Hello Nazarko, hello Arshak. Gaming just changed. I think Arshak is referencing. Hello IQ Scorpion, welcome. Hello guys. Right before we were in the meantime, in the background, well, not really in the background, but you can see some of our. Hello Zark, welcome to the stream, and thank you so much for the donation. Greetings from Chicago, Watch Dogs 1 Land, and Land of the Monsters of the Midway. Thank you so much, Zark. You are so kind. Zark is one of our mods here, and he is so kind. Thank you so much. As I was mentioning, the footage that you're seeing is directly from our hands-on time with Mirage. That is directly me playing the game, testing some of the. This is very much the video that we shared today, so you can see some of the parkour, some of the gameplay in general, and later on we're gonna share more footage that we haven't shared today. But before that. Hello Steven, hello the Hidden One, hello Amond, Assassin's Creed Community, Bluffy, hello Christopher, Steven, hello. Before we get into that, right before we were starting the stream, there's a huge news coming from the Apple event. Right a few minutes ago, Apple has announced that they have announced the iPhone 15, the new iPhone, as it always happened with the Apple keynotes. But also, they have announced that Assassin's Creed Mirage will run on iPhone 15, the full game. In 2024, it will be released on iPhone 15, along with, I think, they are also having Resident Evil 4 Remake as well. Potentially other games. I haven't watched the keynote. We were preparing the stream. But yes. There's this huge news that Mirage, the full game, can be played on iPhone 15 next year, though not this year. But yeah, how are you guys doing? It's been a long day. A lot of outlets, a lot of YouTubers, a lot of creators have shared their first impressions, and I wanted to share mine as well today. So I'm gonna have a look at the chat continuously throughout the stream. I'm gonna have a look at your questions. This stream, like I said, it is for you guys. Hello Deers, hello Six Keys. So much Basim, says Six Keys. I agree. Arshak says it will run on iPhone 15 Pro only. Okay, thank you for mentioning that, Arshak. I haven't been following the news fully, but yeah, Basim everywhere. Can you, so first question, I know you guys might have written your questions already. I'm going to try and keep up with the chat because there's a lot of you today. And I know you have a lot of burning questions. If you see that I don't get to answer your question, it might be because it scrolls down with the chat. Just rewrite it. It's not going to be a big deal. So let me see any info you can share about the present day. No. I mean, we can't share anything. We did see the intro to Mirage, so there are a few seconds about modern day. It is a video, there's no gameplay. It had been announced already, so nothing surprising there. There is it really is a video that contextualizes that we are in the Animus. So there's nothing happening outside the Animus. It's like a contextualized video with a character speaking over it, which I can't mention, and that is it. And then it goes into the story of Basim, and something happens, and then the game starts in the village of Anbar. Bluff, it was made clear that Mirage will not have side ejects. Yeah, that's true. Nazar Ko is asking, will Hytham be in the game? I don't know, honestly. I haven't checked all the previews by everybody. He wasn't in our preview. I did see the story of Basim from a young street thief in the village of Anbar until he joins the Hidden Ones 2 months after the events shown in Anbar, and he's very young there. So I don't know how younger Hytham would be at that time. So we haven't seen them yet. Have you tried playing it in the Arabic voiceover? No, because, well, obviously I wanted to play in English to see how the original dialogues were meant to be. I did see a few videos here and there. The Arabic voice acting and dubbing is incredible. It is amazing. Basim is voiced by Iyad Nassar, who is a very famous actor and voice actor, and it's an incredible performance, the one that he shared. At least a few videos that I saw very fast today. so yes, is Sigurd involved in the story? I can't say, honestly. Like, for what, in the bits that I saw, no. I would imagine Sigurd, if Sigurd is going to appear, he's going to appear at the very end of the game. So obviously they didn't share that with us. Jeremy, hello. Oh, I missed your question already. Please try and write it back again. The Hidden One. Access the Animals. Are there safe houses or unlockable outfits in safe houses? Like the Cafe Theatre in Unity, Tiber Island in Brotherhood, etc. So, not the bureaus. Not that I know. No. I mean, the one safe house, if you want to consider that that way, is Alamut. But the thing is, when roaming Alamut is not part of the main world's map. And if you try to start and to go into the map, it says that there's no map in Anbar, so in Alamut, which reminded me a lot of the present day settings in the games, like when you can't, sometimes when you can't really get into a specific area, or if you can only go there in specific bits of the game. So I'm worried that we might go to Alamut only in specific beats of the game, which I would hate. But I hope that's not the case. I hope we can go to Alamut anytime we want. And Dears, thank you so much for being that kind to gift another membership to the Access the Animus channel to Skata. Congratulations. I love this function on YouTube. Like, this is incredible. Like, gifting a membership to a random member of the chat. It is amazing. Like, you are saying, like, I enjoy this kind of content and I want somebody else to enjoy the same kind of content. I love it so much. Thank you, dears. Thank you so much. Ryan, I have to... Is the ability to do a manual jump by pressing X back? I don't think you can do manual jumps. I never felt the need to do that, but the parkour is very similar in terms of controls. to Valhalla and Odyssey. It is the feeling. It is the feel that is different. Like it is faster. Although, like I mentioned in our video, when I played, it felt heavy. But then I had a look at the footage and it felt faster. You feel more agile. There are ingredients that allow you to, break the line of sight, to get further from the guards. But yes, I don't think there is any direct control over the jumps. But you can, at the very least, control the intensity of the jump. No? Oh, okay. No, it seemed like you were doubtful about what I was saying.
Keep up with their
okay. Can't wait to wolf raid your channel when we are live at the same time. Soon we will. Soon we will, I guess. Especially when Mirage gets released. I hope we can. So we can't keep up with all your questions. But yeah, when Mirage releases, of course, we're gonna stream it continuously as we did when Valhalla was out. So Megalomaniac is asking, is there any control descending? Yes, but it is very similar to Valhalla in terms of animations and also in terms of direct controls. Like you press circle and you just go down from the various handhelds that you can hang on to. Sari is clicking on the chat. I can't read. Definitely when Mirage is out, Scata. Yes. So Will Be Wavy is asking, is sprinting toggled by the analog stick or holding the jump button? It is toggled by the analog stick, similarly to Valhalla. And then you press the jump button to start the parkour cycle, pretty much. How far outside the city is explorable, says Steven. I don't know. And I don't know if I can say why, but let's say they were very keen on me following a path during my demo test. So I did try to stray away from the commanded path, and I did a few times. I was able to get outside the city for a few seconds before going back in, but I wasn't able to see that within the game. But I was able to have a look at the map, and we're going to share some of that in the coming days. There's a lot beyond Baghdad, both at the north and in the south, and you can go from Baghdad to Anbar, and from Anbar to Baghdad. You can't go you can't walk or ride a horse or a camel towards Alamut. You will have to teleport there. And I think IQ Scorpion was asking, how much do you rate the story? I don't think I have enough elements to answer that. I am gonna say, as of now, 8 maybe, but that's because in the Alamut section I was able to see a good chunk of Basim's training, or a whole lot of Basim's training. I'm not sure how much of that I was able to see. It's basically a second prologue after Anbar, and you see Basim as an apprentice. He doesn't have the initiate outfit yet, and he learns about a lot of stuff, about the creed. He learns about the leap of faith. He learns about the story of the feather, about the origins of the brotherhood and stuff like that. And through a lot of stuff that you do, through a montage, there is a montage that we are going to show you later. Through a montage, also a video montage, Basim trains in the various skills that we test. We are taught to use tools, the throwing knives. We are taught about stealth. We are taught about combat as well by Roshan. And then there is something that I think we can mention, discuss but not show, which is the initiation ceremony, which is I think it's the ending or like a very important moment within the apprenticeship of Basim, obviously, because that's where he becomes a hidden one proper. And it's incredible. Like the ceremony seems to be taken themes wise from the original games, but it looks amazing. And especially it looks solemn. Like there's like all the main characters, all the main hidden ones that you're going to meet in Alamut, that are going to appear in the game as well later. They are there with you as Basim, as you are super serious about joining here. Is this the montage? Okay, so this is the montage about Basim's training. This was in the trailers already, but there's more. There you go. There's Fulad, one of the other hidden ones, and this is Basim trying to learn to relate with Enkidu. And this reminded me a lot of Horizon Zero Dawn, when Aloy does the jump and gets older in the video. And this is Basim already showing that he's better than some of the other initiates, and Roshan overlooking him. This is Basim climbing along with Rebecca, who is the blacksmith at the Hidden Ones Brotherhood here in Almut. And then we can see him growing a beard, which obviously means he's growing up. And this is the final. See, now he's getting better. He has that smirk already. It's not the smirk from Valhalla yet, but he's that close. And then we're cutting there, because right after that he does a leap of faith, and then he goes to the ceremony, which is pretty amazing. Hello Wolfie, welcome to the stream. Nice to see you. How are you doing? How are you coping with all the news about Mirage?
A bit because there were a lot of
oh
questions.
Yes, a lot of questions while I was commenting on the montage. So what outfit? Okay, so the Templar's Creed is asking, can we change the time and day setting of this game like we could in Unity, or is it dynamic? I think it is dynamic, but also you can change the day to night and night to day cycle by sitting on benches. So you can't do anywhere in the world like you could in Valhalla or Origins or Odyssey. You have to sit on benches. There's a lot of benches in the world, especially in Baghdad, so it's not going to be an issue. And you can move from day to night and from night to day. I'm not sure if you are throughout the day, if it does like a 12 hours skip. So you can go like from dusk to dawn. I'm not sure about that. I didn't test that. I did test midday to midnight. But yeah. What outfit options are there, asks SML Lover. So in the demo, we didn't have as many outfits. Like, let's start from the beginning. Mirage will have outfits and it will have costumes. So it can be complicated. So outfits are the outfits that you find in the world. Like we do not have item sets. Like we have a single item that is our outfit, and you can find many in the world. It's not only the Master Assassin outfit, if it's an outfit, the Initiate outfit. There's going to be many, but then there's going to be outfits. There's going to be costumes, and costumes are pretty much a Sari got to the bit where we can show the day and night cycle to follow the question by the Templar's Creed. But back to the outfits and costumes. Costumes are pretty much the transmog system in the game, which is available at launch. So basically, of all the other outfits, if I got it correctly, you can overlay the visuals of other outfits on the outfit that you're having, while keeping the dedicated perk that your original outfit has. But there is a twist to that, and it's an amazing one that I didn't expect at all to see. And basically, there are some costumes that you can overlay on your outfits that will allow you to be detected less in specific areas. So basically, you can overlay, I don't know, I'm just spitballing here because I didn't see examples of that, but I don't know, you have a merchant. I did see a picture, which I can't share because it's in a menu, but I did see a picture of Basim dressed sort of like a merchant. So if there's like a merchant costume, you can overlay it on your outfit, and then in specific areas with a lot of merchants, I'm again spitballing here, in the souk, in the market, you will be detected less. So this is an important component of stealth. I haven't tested it yet, but I loved it so much, like, to read about it, because basically this really showed, like, this adds to the immersion, and it also adds to stealth. Like, you it's not a set piece anymore. Like, you will be able to wear a specific outfit in order to be detected less than your usual and oftentimes very visible outfit with the Assassin's Creed logo over it. So I think it's going to be amazing. We're gonna see how much that works. La Red Erudito is asking, I have a question regarding the Assassin's focus gauge. Is it possible to set it to hidden from the HUD options menu? I have no idea. I didn't have a look at the HUD options while playing. I'm not quite sure. Because the HUD usually in Valhalla, it's not customizable that much. Like, you can remove sections of the HUD, so I don't think you can select specific gauges from your HUD and remove them, as it might be the case in Codename Jade, for example, Assassin's Creed Jade, for example. So I'm not quite sure about that. The Sound Painter Studio. Does combat have a wide variety in animations that don't feel quite as repetitive in the case of Origins? I'm gonna say during combat, no. I think that combat is stripped to the basics. Like, it's very similar to the original games in that you have a light attack. It's a mixture between old and modern. Like, you have a light attack and a heavy attack, and they're both mapped to the same button. So it's not like in Valhalla. So you push the button for the light attack and you hold the button for the heavy attack. And then you have dodges, rolls, and parries, and that is it in terms of combat. Then there are some skills here and there, like you have something that is similar to the Spartan kick. There are contextual things that you can do here and there, but basically the combat is that. So it does look, to me at least, there are perfect parries, so you can parry and kill an enemy like you did in the original games, but you can also be killed very easily, and you can't, if you just go the Valhalla way, just button mashing, you won't remove a lot of health from your targets unless you do the heavy attacks, but the heavy attacks oftentimes make you really available to be hit, basically. So you need to tread carefully with combat, in my opinion. I think the game is much more focused on stealth, so what I did is focus my playthrough more on stealth than combat. We'll still have a video in the coming days where we'll discuss about combat and the game world and more stuff, but yeah, there are finishers. There are very some of them are very gruesome. I saw some of the videos here and there. There are finishers which are pretty nice and they are new. So there are animations in there, but not during combat. Like during combat, there are new animations because you're fighting with a sword and a dagger. So there are different animations in that regard. And you can't switch them. You can't use only one of them. You will always wield a sword and a dagger. You can't unequip them. You can only fight with your fists at the start of the game up until the Alamut bit, and then it's over. So that's pretty much it about combat. Is walking the base movement when pressing the stick toward all the way, or is it always a light jog? I'm gonna say it's more like Valhalla. It's more like a you can. What is? Oh, we're talking about tokens. Oh,
No.
oh, we're showing the pickpocket skill.
No.
What was that?
It was the jog.
Okay, okay. So you were a few seconds ago. You saw the jogging on screen. I'm not able to follow the chat and also the screen, but basically, it's similar to Valhalla. You need to be very soft on pushing the stick to make you be able to just slowly walk, because you can do that obviously, but you have to tread very carefully with the stick, pretty much. Is it true that they gave you an older build of the game? I'm gonna say yes-ish. I had a look while I was playing, and there were it was an older build. Like, it wasn't like the current build, and I would say that is normal, because when they have to prepare a preview for so many people across the world in different studios, it's not like you can have the last final build. So which is a good thing, right? Like, you're having a look at the footage, and it might be even better than that. So we can be optimistic about this. Not necessarily about gameplay, but maybe about how the game is going to look. Because the final phase of development is always about polishing the bugs and the games and the visuals of the game. So we'll see about that. Skatha is asking, I have a personal question. Which aspect of the game you enjoyed the most playing in this preview? Okay, I did mention that in the video a little bit. The most satisfying bit was being able to mix and match with the stealth aspects, the tools at your disposal, and the assassination. So basically, there is a bit that is my favorite of probably the entire playthrough, other than the story bits, maybe, where basically I drew. I was on the rooftops, and I drew some guards to a specific area with a noisemaker. Like, one of the tools is the noisemaker. You can attract guards to a specific place. Like, you throw the noisemaker, they hear the noise, and they go check that. So you can use that not only to distract guards, but also to draw them in a specific place that you want. And so I did that. So when the guards were there and were in a close enough radius, I threw a smoke bomb, which meant they all stopped there, and then I was able to air assassinate one, assassinate the other one, assassinate the third one, so that was a triple kill, and then I was able to vanish without being spotted, and that was so satisfying. I'm not sure if I can convey that, but I think that Sari is going to look for that video specifically, because that was incredible to me. It was something that I used to do in the old games. It was tougher to do in Origins, Odyssey, and Valhalla, especially because sometimes you didn't have smoke bombs, or the smoke bombs didn't work, like in Valhalla. Some of the smoke bombs, they were incendiaries, like they are here as well. Like, there's a lot of modifiers to the tools. You can add different effects to the tools that you have. The smoke bomb, the base smoke bomb will be red. The other effects will change the color of the smoke bomb as well. There's going to be a smoke bomb that can be turned into healing vapor, and that is orange. There is a smoke bomb that can... This is a little bit over the top. There is a smoke bomb that can make the guards forget about you. It's called the Mind Slayer effect or something like that, and that is purple. Oh, this is the bit. Thank you, Sari. Basically, I did use like I said, the noisemaker to attract the guards there. It's something that I used to do with Unity, and then you can see the radius of the tool, so you can be sure that all the guards are going to be affected. So I used the smoke bomb and then assassinate all of them, then went into a stalking zone before being spotted by the other nearby guards. So that was super satisfying. Did you find some hints for some more mysterious aspects of Assassin's Creed, like glyphs and Isu stuff? I'm gonna say the direct answer to your question is no. But I saw something from some of the menus which is spoilerish, which might be tied to some Isu stuff. Which I'm also not too sure about that. So let's say indirectly, possibly, maybe. I'm not sure if that is satisfying enough, but a silly question: is there a way to rename your saves manually? I don't think so, because it's very similar to Valhalla, where the save states they bear the name of the quest that you are currently undertaking. IQ Scorpion is asking, is Basim fast, agile from the beginning, or is that he become faster, more agile over the game? And I think somebody else asked on Twitter as well. No, the moveset, the parkour moveset is always the same from start to finish, or at least in the various bits that I played. So from the beginning, you are able to climb buildings, you are able to jump faster from rooftop to rooftop. You are able to use the corner swings and the pole vaults right at the start. There are some corner swings and pole vaults in Anbar as well, which also shows that not only Baghdad but all the villages in the game, I think there's going to be another village along with Anbar and Alamut, obviously, they all have these density of buildings. Alamut is a little different because as you can see on screen right now, it's more like a settlement built next to a mountain. And we won't be able to explore the actual castle. So there isn't a density of buildings there because it's more like a settlement by the hidden ones. But there's a lot of parkour elements that you can jump on. There's a few parkour routes that you can follow. So it's you can feel, you do see that the devs did do their best with parkour, with what they had from Valhalla, and it improves a lot just by changing the design of the environments. So by having a bigger and a more intense building density of the buildings, it feels much nicer. Amon Targaryen is asking, how does the side quests look like in this game? Like, is there a bunch of variety of side quests? Are they good or bad? I don't think there's a variety in types of quests, but there are side quests. Let's say, let's start from the beginning. There are main missions, but the main missions are not just missions. They are investigations. So there is an investigation for each target in the various districts of Baghdad. These are the main missions, but it's more like an investigation. So you start at the Hidden Ones Bureau, and then you have to find clues in order to find who the target is and then assassinate them. But while you're doing this, sometimes you get to a hiccup, or sometimes you start from a point in your main path, let's say in your investigation, and then you can get sidetracked by characters throughout the mission, which can tell you to go and do something there. So you're gonna do something of a side mission. I had to go through 2 or 3 fetch quests that were story quests, story missions. They felt like fetch quests. I didn't like the concept of fetch quests, but at the same time, they were still tied to the main story and the main investigation. So by doing these quests, you learned more about the main target. So they are side quests, but they're still part of the main investigation. And then there's contracts. They're hidden ones contracts. Those are dedicated missions where you have to go to a specific place and do something that a contractor asked of the hidden ones. And these specific missions that you will find in the contract board, in the hidden ones bureaus, these will have also what they call the contractor request, which is basically the Mirage version of the 100% synchronization. So the 100% synchronization will be back, but you will have to be very careful because there's no mission replaying in Mirage. So if you do, here is a contract board, and in a few seconds we're gonna see, hopefully, the contracts. There you go. These are the contracts, and you can play them only once. So if you complete them, they're gone. Which means if you want to have the 100% synchronization, the contractor request, and you want to obtain the rewards from that, you only have one chance. So my suggestion is to save before doing the contract, so you can try again if you're not able to meet the requirement. Any word if there's going to be a game plus, a new game plus like Origins and Odyssey? I'm gonna say very likely not, because they already announced there's not gonna be any kind of post-launch support for the game, or I envision there's going to be, support in order to, reduce the bugs, eliminate, like having bug fixes, sure, but I don't see them having new content added to Mirage, unless it's going to be some kind of crossover quite some time from now. But other than that, and on the topic of side quests, there's also going to be world events in Mirage, even though we weren't able to test any. So I didn't see any world event in Baghdad, because the third phase of our test was in Baghdad. I spent 2 hours in Baghdad trying to do an investigation in the Kark district, which ended up with a black box mission, with a black box assassination mission. And while roaming Baghdad and trying to stray away from the main path, I still wasn't able to see any world event, but they were mentioned in the dev diaries, so they will be there. What else? You mentioned in your videos that pickpocketing is important in the game. How does it work? Okay, so Bruno, thank you for the question, because this is something I don't know why I'm so excited about pickpocketing. I almost never engaged with pickpocketing in any Assassin's Creed game, other than trying it, seeing that you get some money, and in the older games you didn't get that much money anyway. You had any other way to get more money. You got some trinkets here and there. It wasn't useful. It was fun to see because it added to the feeling of being an assassin, but it wasn't useful, which meant I stopped doing that pretty much immediately in every game. But in here, it is important for multiple reasons. Obviously, you're gonna get money and trinkets this time as well, but it's a little more elaborate. You don't just pick a button, push a button, and go with the pickpocketing. There is a mini game, and you have to click at the right moment, as you could see right now. And the more important the reward is, the tougher the mini game will be. It's a mini game that is very similar to the lock picking mini game from Assassin's Creed Unity, in that you have sort of like a bar, and you have to click it right at the right time. But there's an offset. The bigger the offset, the lower the reward. And the important thing that you are seeing right now is that one of the recurring rewards, are the tokens. The tokens that you are seeing on screen right now again. So basically, the tokens are super important in the game. There's 3 types of them. Basically, they are an in-game currency. There's no microtransactions tied to them, as far as I know. Basically, you can use these tokens to do a variety of things. Like you can bribe musicians into playing so that they attract guards around them so you can sneak by. You can bribe mercenaries into attacking other guards. You can bribe cartographers into highlighting stuff on your map, like important stuff on your map. But also you can use those like tokens even in the story missions, like in the black box, in the investigation that I tried in the Kark district. There was a merchant that was willing to tell me the direction where to go to find a smaller target that would give me information about the bigger target. And by bribing this merchant with a token, I had a direct hint at where to go, and that was placed on the map, and so on. But also, there's something else that I read in the game's database, which is basically that sometimes you can also use the tokens as a way to start some of the opportunities within the black box missions. So the black box missions are these huge assassination mission where you are given a playground, and in our case it was the bazaar in the Kark district, and there's different opportunities that you can follow in order to find information about your target and then go and assassinate them. And I read in the game database that some of these opportunities, as you can see on screen, thank you, Sari. Some of these opportunities, they can be activated by using the tokens, which I think they are underneath my head right now. Oh, it's okay. So it's right over there. Okay, there you go. So, so basically, you get the chance to facilitate your approach to the black box missions also by using the tokens. And the tokens are only available in chests, in the Hidden Ones contracts, and by pickpocketing. But the chests and the contracts, they are limited. Once you complete them, they do not regenerate. So the only way to have to stock up on these tokens is by pickpocketing, and these tokens are very important. So that's why pickpocketing became such an important feature, at least in my opinion, in Mirage. Are the tokens easy to get? Yes, I'm gonna say they're not hard. I wouldn't say super easy, but like once you get used to the pickpocket mini game, it gets easier. And also there's something that I didn't mention. Basically, you can also have an idea about which pickpocketing targets, which pickpocketing NPCs might bear a token, because they have a pouch that you can see if you use Eagle Vision while walking amidst the crowd. So you use Eagle Vision and you can see that amidst a lot of people, there are these people that they are carrying pouches that are highlighted in gold, and so you know that these there you go, thank you so much, Sari. So you can so you know that is a high chance of getting one of the tokens. You don't know what kind of token, so you will have to engage with pickpocketing a little bit here and there, but yeah. So are there manual or automatic vaults? They are I'm gonna say they are automatic. Like when you're running and you are pushing the A button or the X button, it will trigger the vaults automatically, pretty much. But they're not automatic in the sense of Assassin's Creed 3 when you jumped into a house and you couldn't control your character. It's more like you choose the direction where you're going and then it jumps automatically, pretty much. Mr. Meme, how big do you think the game will be, considering Valhalla base game was 85 gigabytes on PS5? I don't know. 25, 30, I don't know. Like, this is going to be a smaller game than Valhalla for sure. The map looks to be a little bigger than the DLC ones, and the DLCs were, if I'm not mistaken, something between, I don't know, 5 to 10 gigabytes maybe. Why is Basim getting his butt kicked by Enkidu so funny? It is nice. It is nice. And on the topic of Basim, the Anbar prologue, it did show a little bit of his kind heart as well. Like, he's a street thief. He is with his childhood friend Nihal, and they are doing what they can to survive in Anbar as thieves, and they are working for a, let's call him an artifacts dealer called Derwish, and Derwish is this classic character that seems to be, there you go, that is Derwish. Thank you, Sari.
No, give me a second.
So it wasn't Derwish. Okay.
Now it's coming.
Derwish is going to appear, and basically it's the man in the background, and he's this man that seems to be hard on the outside but is like very soft on the inside. He's trying to do his best to keep a lot of the street urchins and kids alive, and he is dealing with the hidden ones. So that is how Basim gets to see Roshan for the first time, and then something else will happen. No, circle is no longer the vaulting button. What I felt, 60's also tried the game, so you can help me confirm that or not. But if I recall correctly, vaulting was done with the parkour button. It wasn't with circle, like it was in Valhalla. Did they explain how does Basim see through Enkidu's eyes? No, they did not. They did not, or at least they did not in the demo that I played. Instead, something actually complicated the Eagle situation, the Eagle canon situation, in that there is another initiate hidden one that also has an eagle, that also tells him where to go, or that people are coming. There is an attack, a very tiny attack on Alamut, while you're doing the Alamut bit, and there is this initiate hidden one called Nur, who also has an eagle, and they have this relation of some sorts. It's not stated if he also can see through his eagle eyes, but still, it seems like they are saying that the hidden ones here, they all have their eagle, or a lot of them have. Hello, Elena, welcome to the stream. You made it. Fulad, who is one of the main assassins or hidden ones in the game, he is described as the Eagle Master, which means he provides the eagles to many of the other hidden ones. He's the character that we get Enkidu from. So I think that's complicating matters even more, but who knows. Have I missed Dash or Canon? No, Elena. We're gonna have maybe some Canon cam later. Is there a ton of mocap cutscenes? There are quite a few. In that, I think that the introduction cutscenes, the discussion within the Hidden Ones bureaus, and there's also some cutscenes that we saw as an introduction to the district that you're going to investigate. Those are also mock-upped, in my opinion, I think. And then there are the classic standard encounters where you can see the characters doing the usual, standing animations. Some of which are very similar to the old games, like the old RPG games. Some of them are new as well, and some of them I'm not very proficient on this, but some of them, the animations during dialogues, they are, again, I'm not too sure about that. You should confirm that for me. They are about gestures like this, but not in the Italian way, but more like in the Arabic way. Like they added gestures that have a meaning for these characters in this time period and in this setting. So I think there are a few animations that Fulad does like this, but something like this to support the concept that he's saying. So there's a little bit of that, which is also very important in order to get you a little bit more immersed in the game. And today, I'm sorry I forgot the name of the outlet, but there was an outlet that also shared a video of Basim getting close to a mosque, and they actually heard the Muslim call to prayer, the Adhan. I think we can share it because we shared it on our social media, which was pretty interesting, which also adds to the culture. And I think I read somewhere that you can also roam around the mosque and you can see some NPCs praying, and to have a better representation of the culture as well. Elena is asking Elena is mentioning the bench assassination. We're gonna get into the assassinations real soon. Did we show the bench assassination? Okay, so yes, stealth is back. We're gonna talk about that later, and the assassinations are back. There's a lot of different types of assassinations, and especially my favorite one is this one. It's the bench assassination. It's amazing. It is so similar to the ones in Assassin's Creed 1. It is slow. You're savoring the moment. And then there are all the other assassinations from the original AC1 and Ezio games. Plus some of the assassination that were added later, like the cover assassination that you're seeing here, and they work flawlessly. Like they work flawlessly with the stealth system. Like you don't get spotted anymore because the game says so. Like you really are in control of stealth, and then which means also you can feel more confident about yourself. Like you can feel more confident about not being spotted when you are, I don't know, in a fort and you're trying to assassinate the guards. But at the same time, you will have to be very careful, because this time it's not only the guards that can see you, but also the NPCs. And if the passers-by, is that correct English? Is it passers-by?
I wasn't listening to you, but
Canon did something really wrong. Like there was a noise, like a huge noise in the garden, and now Sarah is going to check. But anyway, you have to be very careful of the surrounding NPCs, because if they see you doing something that is illegal, like killing a guard or pickpocketing, when it goes wrong, like if you fail a pickpocketing and you are spotted by the NPCs, your notoriety level will raise, and this means more NPCs are going to spot you and report you to the guards. More guards are going to see you, and then there's going to be more guards hunting you until when the Shakiria elite enemies are going to hunt you down, and it's going to be very complicated. The Good Life. Do you think having the same single mercenary chase you for the notoriety will get boring, repetitive? Probably. I think I will do everything in my power not to get there. I think I saw some video, a video by Andy, who stated that by killing them you can also get tokens. But again, I wouldn't go to the whole hassle of getting notoriety to level 3 in order to get tokens. It's much easier to do the pickpocketing. Megalomaniac is asking how different Basim's agility is when he was in Anbar than when he finished his trading. It's very much the same. The agility doesn't change. You are fast at the beginning as you are when you are in Baghdad. So don't expect a progression, a tangible progression in terms of controlling your main character. Which I'm also happy about, because I wouldn't be happy to, to control a heavy character at the beginning. It wouldn't be fun. And the beginning is the intro. The beginning is the part of the game that the biggest amount of player plays before dropping the game. So you don't want the start of the game to not be fun. Can you change the consoles like in Valhalla? I think you're mentioning the costumes.
No, I mean
The consoles.
console.
What
If
is?
I play on PC, can I go on?
Ah, you mean if you can transfer your save state to a different platform? I don't know, but this is very similar to Valhalla in a lot of ways. So it would be very sad if they didn't port that super useful feature. It would be very tough for us if they didn't port that feature. Anyway, how did you like the citizens recognizing and reporting Basim? I loved the concept. I love the concept because it is way more realistic. It adds gravitas to what you're doing. Like, the next time you will be very careful in doing the assassination when you are amidst people. Maybe it's best to throw a throwing knife from a distance, or maybe it's best to use tools like I don't know, a noisemaker to distract the NPCs and then assassinate a guard, or throw a smoke bomb, or try and do a cover assassination so that people do not see you. I think it adds to the strategy, which is pretty fun, honestly. And I also noticed that with the bench assassination was done in the middle of the bazaar, so it was in one of the most crowded places probably in the entire game, and because you are sitting on a bench and you are in stealth mode and you assassinate the guard, the NPCs do not spot you right away, so you can walk away. But then when the guard falls down from the bench, the NPCs, they notice that something is going wrong, that something is not right. And at a certain point, the surrounding NPCs, I think they looked at me or something. Maybe we can have a look at the full footage about that. Do we have that?
Let me check.
Okay, Sari is going to check if we have the full footage of the aftermath of the bench assassination, because at some point I got spotted. Like, I went away and nobody noticed me, but then I went back to see the reaction of the NPCs, and I wanted to also see the body of the guard, if it stayed sit on the bench or if it moved, like if it fell, and it did fall. And so the NPCs, they got crazy and stuff. So NPCs are such snitches. Yes. Hello, Croton. Welcome. Really glad you got to play ACM. I am. Thank you so much. I did my best to share my excitement about the game, my critique about the game as well, with you guys. So this is the full footage, right?
I think so,
Hopefully,
yeah.
we'll see. So the other guard went away. I assassinate the guard here. For a moment, it stays sit, and then I went away, and you can see the NPCs are going with their life. We don't have that. Sad. That is sad. So as you could see, the NPCs, they were going by with their lives, and then the guard, the body falls down, and then
Give me a second. I may have it in
You
the
might
same
have it.
position.
okay.
Just give me a
Thank you so much, Cronon, about your comment about our preview. We did work over that for almost a week, and also over the weekend. We did our best to try and select all the best bits to share with you guys. Is this old build or the latest ready to ship build? I think it was an old build, like I mentioned earlier. Hernan, something is bothering me. The game starts in 861, but previously the dev said it begins 20 years before Valhalla, so is this a retcon? Technically, it's not a retcon because... Oh, okay, so... Can we go back? Can we go back? Sorry, Sari.
This is when you are coming back.
Okay, so this is me already coming back to the scene. The body has fallen. You can see the NPCs walking around. And because the NPCs are walking around, the guards is seeing... Is there somebody snitching on me? Maybe you can go back again. Because then maybe we can also zoom in. Let me see. So, you see the body has fallen from the bench?
No, I don't think there's anybody.
I don't think they are snitching on me, but the guard is seeing that something is wrong, and then he sees me, and then as you can see, there's the last known position mechanic, which you can see, and it shows where the guards know that you are, and etc. etc. So can we go back in the question? I was answering a question about.
No idea where.
What was the question about?
The build.
No. It was the one by Hernan. So I wouldn't call that a retcon, because a retcon is when you change something from the established lore, while that was just a communication by a high-ranking dev. It's still not amazing for sure, but it's not a retcon per se. But it's the whole reason that I highlighted this since September last year, basically saying that the game starts in 861, but also it is 20 years before Valhalla. That doesn't match. Sorry, it doesn't match. So up until we had this preview, well, actually it was a month or two ago, IGN confirmed it was 861. It had to be one way or the other. It was either, because Valhalla starts in 872, so it had to be either 852 or 861. And they showed it's 861, so it's not 12 years before. It's not 20 years before Valhalla. It is 12 at best, if I did the math right. So that's 11 or 12. So, were you able to go into the House of Wisdom? Sadly, no. I really wanted to go. Icy, because not only because I'm super interested in having a look at the House of Wisdom, but also in the Alamut bit. There are two of the Banu Musa, and they're saying one of them, Ahmad, is going to go to the House of Wisdom. So that I felt like that was like a teaser about something that we were about to play, but it wasn't, sadly. What I tested in Baghdad, it wasn't a demo per se. It was a demo in itself, but it was a proper build of the game. Like, you could go anywhere, and then and then at some point we were very we were I was advised to keep to stay in track, so I wasn't able to go and visit any kind of area within the world, so I wasn't able to visit the House of Wisdom. Can you change the setting and run with R2? I think there will probably be different button mappings. I did go with the original one because I wanted to test how different it was from Valhalla. And there are different buttons from Valhalla because they are introducing two new features that are tied to a specific button. One is the tool wheel, which you're going to use with the right dorsal button. That's RT or R2. So the same button that was used for the heavy attack, which is why the heavy attack is mapped on the same button as the light attack. And also the other feature that is mapped in a previously used button is the assassin's focus, ability, which is this ability that allows you to assassinate in quick succession multiple guards, and that is triggered by R3 or R, the stick, which means Eagle Vision is not triggered with that button anymore. You're gonna have to use the left D-pad button. So that's that. Yes, Megalomaniac. Valhalla started in 872. There are events in 871 in Assassin's Creed Rebellion, maybe. And I think maybe some events also in Valhalla are in 871, but it's around that time, 871, 872. Razalhim is asking, did you see anything with the genie? Yes, but I don't think we can share that. I think at this point we can, so we might share that throughout the week. We will see. But yes, we did see. So basically, when you start the game, you start in Anbar in a hideout where Basim is sleeping, and his childhood friend Nihal is tending to him because he's having this new nightmare with the genie. So we did see a little bit of that, of this nightmare with the genie. It's a different, or it's the same bit we saw in the trailer with additional shots. So we saw that, and that's it. I wasn't able to do the assassination in the black box mission because I strayed away from the path too much. I wanted to see way more side content rather than the main assassination, which could also be a spoiler. And as you might know, the genie appears usually during the confession kill scenes in the memory corridor. So I would expect the genie to appear every time you assassinate a target. So there's that. And even if there you go, that's a vault animation that you do just by running and using the parkour button. So yeah, we only saw that, and we can't. There you go. We can't say what those additional shots of the genie were about. Noam is asking, is Anbar part of the open world? Yes. Oh my god, Lee Mashdub is in the chat. Hello Lee, welcome to the stream. Lee is the voice actor of Basim. Wow, thank you so much for joining us. Congratulations on nailing the younger version of Basim. It took me, I was writing that on our Discord. It took me some time to get used to the new voice, but I think it fits the character and the type of character that is being told here very, very much. So congrats on Mirage. It's almost time for the release. So yes, it's about to happen. Was I answering? Who knows which question I was answering? Who knows really? Can you go a little bit down? Yeah. Can we use a hidden blade as main weapon option? No. Is Anbar part of the open world? I was answering this one, I think. Yes, it is part of the open world. So you can travel from Anbar to Baghdad and vice versa. While instead Alamut is not part of the open world, it's a secluded area that you have to teleport in order to go and visit. I think, because actually I went to Alamut because of a save state and because of the story. So I'm not quite sure you can teleport to Alamut at any point in time. Is there no more quick save feature in the menu? I think there is. I'm not quite sure. I think there is. I hope there is. A lot of people enjoy having quick save. Could you hear that awesome combat soundtrack that you used in the trailers and the gameplay reveal. I did hear a variation of the what's it called, Into the Light track. There were some of those. There were some renditions of Ezio's Family. There was a little bit of Ezio's Family. I'm not sure if I can spoil that. I'm not gonna say where. But there were some bits of Ezio's Family, obviously rearranged to fit the setting and the mood. But yes. Is the change from apprentice outfit to the master one based on our level inside the order, or is it manually upgraded? No. Okay. So as far as I know, I don't remember the actual name. It's the recruit outfit, which is the one that you have when you go to when you go to Alamut before the initiation ceremony. You have a recruit outfit, which is basically like this worn out gray assassin-y outfit without the hood. Then you get the Initiate of Alamut outfit. And then at some point you will get the Master Assassin. I hope it's going to be an outfit. And I think it's going to be tied to the ranking system, because there's going to be 6 ranks within the Hidden Ones Brotherhood. And Basim will start as an apprentice, and it will go through the various ranks up until the master rank. And I think that's where Basim will gain the Master Assassin outfit. And I think and hope it's going to be an outfit, even though in the demo it was available as a costume, as in a transmog overlay. I'm not sure if that's going to be the case in the game. Maybe. I think it would be better to have that as a proper outfit that you gain when you get the rank of Master Assassin. But other than that, it's not an outfit. Sorry, it's not an outfit that evolves through time, as it was the case. Was it the case in Origins? The Hidden Blades, they evolved as you upgraded them, and you couldn't go back. But this is not the case. Do you get to interact with many famous historical people all the time? Asks Tim Horn. And I'm gonna say not all the time. Specifically in the Kark district investigation, I didn't see a lot of historical characters. I'm thinking of this. I don't think I saw any other historical character there. I did see the Banu Musa, who were these famous inventors and scholars from the time, because they are also part of the Hidden Ones, and they will help you upgrade your tools. So you get to see them at any time in the Hidden Ones bureaus. So that's the amount of historical character that I saw. But there's going to be, like, throughout the game, in the other investigations, surely there's going to be some historical characters. I still can't believe Sari didn't die once in 4 hours, and I died 5 times in 1.5 hours. I don't recall dying. I don't have any footage about dying.
The answer is that I haven't played.
Yeah, Sari did not play this time because she didn't have time. She wasn't around when we had scheduled our session. So I did play all the time, and I don't think I ever died. And I did all the stealth sessions, etc., etc. I didn't do a lot of fighting, so probably that's why. Which means I also have a very short and limited amount of... we can't show that? Yes, good. We have a very limited amount of memory corridor loading screens because I never died. We have only the ones that were there to load the various missions, and there were loading screens that I remember. I'm not sure if they were added to our footage, but I do remember. I can talk about my experience. And in those loading screens, there were, the hints, as it's been the case since Origins. And some of the hints, they mentioned I don't remember the name of the explorer that from Baghdad went up until the lands of the Rus and of the Vikings in the 900s. They were mentioned as an inspiration for Valhalla, and they were mentioned in there. And there was a reference to the Isu also, not just to explain who they are, but also because they are worshipped by the order of the Ancients. What else? There were hints here and there. There was a hint that mentioned that you can sort of like have some kind of agency in your jumps by how much you press the jump button. But yes. Ambient music is more present. Yes, there is ambient music. I wouldn't say more present than in Valhalla, but yes, there is. JPK, please rewrite the question because sometimes I can't keep up with the question. So it's not an issue if you rewrite your question. Just do not spam it too frequently. Yara is asking, can you say anything about the size of the Alamut map? Is there anything to do? Are there any viewpoints? I'm gonna say it's not large in terms of area size because it's way vertical. Like you are the Hidden One settlement is built in a canyon that is underneath a mountain. Within the canyon, you can go at the lower level. Oh, there you go. This is the canyon. Thank you, Sari, as usual. Within the canyon, there are different stalls. Like there is see, this is, I think this is Roshan's tent. There she is, even though it wasn't actually hers. There are different Hidden Ones NPCs walking around. In a few seconds, we're gonna see Mentor Rayhan, who you're gonna see. From here, you can have a look, an idea of the size of the map. It's not huge in terms of area, but it's very vertical. So there's different layers on the sides of the canyon. And this is Mentor Rayhan. When I saw him, I went back right there. These, as you can see, these are the Mentor of Alamut robes, outfit, that we were able to gain with the Roshan quest in Assassin's Creed Valhalla at the end of post-launch. And the description of that item set, of that outfit, it did mention that those were the robes that belonged to the Master Mentor Rayhan. So it is very nice that they kept that. This is a secretive cave that we can't talk about, but something very interesting and solemn happened there. Compared to Origins, how did the map look? I'm gonna say it's much smaller. It's not tiny. Like you can think of the map of the DLCs for Valhalla and have that times 1.5 probably, if you consider, or times 2 maybe, if you consider Alamut as well, because there's a lot of area outside of Baghdad, and Baghdad is pretty huge on itself. The wilderness area around Baghdad, which I wasn't able to really go into. I'm not sure how empty that is. Like, I'm not sure how much stuff you can do. There's going to be a lot of desert. Oh, hello, this is the map. So we have a video of the map. I forgot we had one that was available for the stream. So here it is. So you can have a look. There's, as you can see, there is a south east area. There's a little bit in the west of Baghdad, and there's a lot in the north. So this is Baghdad with the Tigris River. I hope that's the correct one. And in the north, there's a lot of there's a good chunk of the map. I'm not sure how empty it's going to be or how filled with stuff it is going to be. But you can see that it's pretty huge. And on the top left, there is Anbar. Can you fast travel in Alamut? I'm not quite sure. We didn't get the chance to do that. Once we were in a specific setting, we weren't able to go to previous settings. Can we go back to the map? Mm-hmm. So I can show Fossil is asking where is Anbar in the map. So this is Baghdad, and Sari is going to stop where we are. No, not here. Let's have the cursor go. There we go. Up there, right up next to the lake. That's where Anbar is, and Anbar is important. Not only because it's the start of the game, but that's also where the Winter Palace of the Caliph is located. So there's not just a small village, but there's also like a huge palace that I wasn't able to visit, but it was there on the map. I'm not sure if we have it here because it's not recorded here. The Winter Palace in Anbar, but it's fine. The map looks pretty standard DLC map size, which says 6 gigs. I agree. I think it's a little bigger than the Siege of Paris and the Irish DLC. I think it's a little on the same size of Dawn of Ragnarok, maybe, because Dawn of Ragnarok was a little bigger. But yes. How much years of story will the game cover? We do not know. I'm gonna say anything from 1 year to 11. That's the safe answer, because after 11 years, it's going to be time for Valhalla. So we don't know when the game is going to end. Like, the game might end when Basim is a master assassin. Everything is fine. He's just turned into the Abbasid version of Loki, and that's it. Or the game will fast forward to when Basim meets Sigurd in Constantinople, or who knows? We do not know where and when the game is going to end. Can you hear songs from the church or Tzami? I'm not sure what that is. But yes, you can hear the Muslim prayer from the mosques, and actually Sari is going to fetch it. I think there we go. It is a video from the Gamer Snack Challenge. You can have a look at the link that Sari is sharing in the chat right now. How long is the main story? I think it was mentioned it's between 15 to 2022, like around 20 to 2022. That's what the game's producer, one of the producers, mentioned. While you will need 25 to 30 hours to complete everything, along with the collectibles, like 100% everything. Is Mirage on par with Syndicate from what you've played? I would say they are very different games. Mirage retains a lot of the systems from the RPG games, which means parkour is not on par with the parkour in Syndicate, which was pretty much an evolved version of the Unity one. In terms of stealth, I think Mirage has more stuff that you can do to improve your stealth approach, and you will have a disguise option which means you will be stealthier in specific areas if you're wearing specific outfits, which is amazing. I can't wait to try. Plus, there's tools, which were there tools in yeah, there were some tools in Syndicate. Yes, there were tools. That'll be me complete everything. Yes, I will do that as well. Who is playing Basim's Memories in the modern day? It is not outright stated, and even if it were, I wouldn't be able to tell. But it wasn't outright stated in the early cutscene that we saw before playing the Amber session. Wait, is this early access? Says Dotslit. It's a preview. Preview early access. It's not like we had early access to the entire game. Basically, Ubisoft, through a system that we can't really talk about, but basically Ubisoft allowed us to play remotely the game in specific selected areas and specific selected moments in the game to showcase a bit of the game itself. But yes, it wasn't like early access to the entirety of the game. Adrian, no, there are not double assassinations, at least for what we tried, but there was a document in a Hidden Ones Bureau that hinted at that. I'm not going to spoil it too much because it was another Brotherhood, not the Levantine, sending a message to the Levantine about having dual blades. Noam, can we use side eject like in the older games? Sorry, Noam, to bring you the bad news, but no. No, we can't. There's no actual original side ejects and back ejects. Like if you're doing a side eject, it's only to get to a lower place, to a lower height. If the game detects that you can have a control descent on the side, it will do that. But if you even if you use the jump button or the parkour button on the side, it will just either jump. It doesn't even jump. Like it would just jump on the ground or not do anything at all. So it's not. There's no side eject. Or not side eject the way we know from the original games. Pratik is asking, do you feel the action-adventure genre is much fitting for such smaller maps, as it won't be possible to fit every location in main story, and most of us care about story in AC game rather than side quests? Yes, but the thing is, recently AC hasn't been that much an action-adventure kind of game. Like, Mirage also is not just an action-adventure kind of game. While we're having a look, I really wanted to do this. I always do this with every game and demo I try. As long as they're gonna have eagles in the games, I'm gonna do this. Go as high as I can and then have a look at the entirety of the map. But back to your question. Even Mirage is a mixture of, as the devs say, modern and old. There are still a lot of RPG systems, and I'm not even sad that they are there. You can sort of like create, not a build, for example, but you can have, I don't know, have the perks on your outfit and the perks on your weapons and the perks of your tools. You can have them align so that you can have a very heavily focused strategy on, I don't know, on poison or on distractions or something like that. So Mirage is more oriented towards action adventure for sure. I do feel, to answer your question, that action adventure is much more fitting for smaller areas. I'm not quite sure if AC is action adventure anymore. Does the parkour feel smooth or clanky and stiff? I'm gonna answer with yes. Yes. So basically, like I mentioned in our video earlier today, when I played, it still felt a little clunky, a little heavy. Still better than it was in Valhalla. Any kind of parkour is better than what it was in Valhalla. But then I looked at the footage, and you can see the footage. It is smoother, not right here because I was so bad, but in general, it is smoother. It is faster. It does feel faster. Like, let's see if this parkour session feels a little bit. See, you can move a little in a more agile way. You still feel stiff at times, but it's better than Valhalla. You can't expect any radical changes because this was still meant to be a DLC for Valhalla, and the devs had what, 1 to 2 years to develop all of this. So kudos to the devs for doing everything they could with what they had in their hands. Fewer kudos to the devs when they compared the parkour in Mirage to that of Unity. That was the worst thing they could say about parkour, and they did say that a few times. But other than that, if you go in after playing Valhalla, it will still feel better. Is it out? I'm so shy. It's not. The game is not out yet. If that's what you were asking, add me. We just tried the game for a few hours thanks to Ubisoft, and today we're able to share opinions and to show you you guys our footage, but we do not have the game in our hands. How are the memory corridor scenes? Over the top and symbolic, absent. I'm gonna say they're not absent. You could see that on the trailer. I can't comment on the memory corridor scenes for spoiler reasons. But yeah, I'm gonna say yes or no. Roshan calls in Basim because he is the new recruit. He is not like Ezio. He is the one being sent on missions like Alta. Yeah. How can I say? Story-wise and also structure-wise, this is more similar to AC1 than the Ezio games in that there is a target for each district of the game, and you are sent to go and find information about them and then assassinate them, much like Altair did. And while Altair's new investigations, they started in Masyaf, this time the investigations, they start in the Hidden Ones bureaus rather than going back to Alamut, which is also what worries me about potentially not being able to teleport or fast travel to Alamut at any time. Animals Drifter is saying the parkour does look very clumsy. Is there legacy yet? I did see
You're
that.
ignoring me.
I am not ignoring it. Sari is highlighting some of your questions in the chat, and sometimes I jump over them, like I miss them. And Sari is getting mad and keeps highlighting the same question. So, and now it's not in front of me, so I can't read it. Okay, so the question was by Rai 2011, and the question is there legacy outfits? Do you know? And funny that your name has 2011, because that's the year, if I'm not mistaken, where Assassin's Creed Revelations was released, and very much today Andy Reloads was able to share the news that there's going to be an Assassin's Creed Revelations Ezio Legacy outfit in Mirage. It's an information that he got from an interview with the narrative director Sarah Beaulieu, which I very much advise you to have a look at. So yes, there's going to be at least one legacy outfit, and when there is one, sometimes there are more. And I was I would be very surprised if there weren't an Altair Legacy outfit. So yes. Sen Schroers. Do you genuinely think that this game will succeed? And following, do you think if it does, it will push Ubisoft to make more OG-like AC games alongside the RPG games? I think it will succeed, but it won't be a landslide victory, or it's not going to be like this huge game-changing. What was the wording that they used? The good old Alex Amancio said, shifting the paradigm. I don't think that Mirage will shift the paradigm about anything. Even the devs, they recognize that this is not a step forward, but it's a step on the side. I think it will succeed because thematically, it will. Like, it will bring back a lot of the feelings and nostalgia from the original games. It will tell a story about a beloved character from the recent games. I think it will succeed, and I hope it will succeed enough to have Ubisoft develop similar, smaller games that are more in the vein of the original games. And based on the rumors that we know about the Infinity platform, the studios will probably have more chances to develop their own smaller project like Ubisoft Bordeaux did, with the support of the other studios, obviously. And those might be in the vein of Assassin's Creed 1 and Assassin's Creed Mirage. Maybe. We really, really, really need this game to succeed. I hope it is. I hope it does. I am so excited about this because what I tried was super fun. So yes, do we have the parkour down button? Yes, we do. But it's a control descent, very much similar to Valhalla in Odyssey and Origins. So you have a button to do the control descent, but it's very similar to the RPG games. Noam is asking how the transmog feature will work in Mirage. I didn't have that much time to test it, other than in this case we do not have item sets. We have single item outfits. Like, you have a single slot in your inventory that contains the whole outfit. There is in your inventory another slot which is called the costume, and basically if you have a number of costumes, if you have a number of outfits, I think you can select those and apply their visuals to the outfit that you're having. But based on what I read on the game's database, you will also probably get other costumes that you might not have as outfits. So they might just be skins, and you can apply them to your outfit in order to to play. Like, very much like the legacy outfits. Like, when you have legacy outfits in the recent games, you just apply their skin on the game on the outfit, and you still maintain all the perks that your original outfit had. And it's going to be probably the same here. How damaging is full damage? It is very similar to Valhalla, which is not amazing in a game with a density of buildings like this, and especially with a game that it has its verticality, but not as much as some of the height differences that we had in Valhalla from towers. Now, I didn't go in over a lot of minarets and towers, but I did see some videos where the parkour did not work in Alamut, and the creators, they did miss the jump that they did, and they fell through the entire canyon up until the ground level, and and Basim did not die. It still had like a small chunk of his health. So if that is the case, we're probably never going to be able to, murder Basim through a wrong jump, which means a much lower number of high series when we're going to play. So I don't know if that is a good or a bad thing.
You're ignoring me again.
Oh, I'm ignoring it. So Yara has another question. Were you able to fight as a younger Basim? Since he didn't have any weapons, was there any kind of unarmed combat? Did I? No. Because I am so good. And I did all the stealth mission without being spotted. Actually, maybe I wasn't that bad with stealth, but that means I was pretty stupid in not trying to engage with the combat. But anyway, you can do only, unarmed combat or assassination only when you are in Anbar at the beginning of the game, because I would imagine you can go back to Anbar even when you are a hidden one. And also in the prologue in Alamut, before the initiation and before you get the hidden one, the hidden blade. So yes, there's that. So engage with the unarmed combat and assassinations as much as you can before you have to let go of that. Are there any epic and legendary weapons as Origins and Odyssey? I think there might be, even though I'm not sure if there is a different tiers of weapons. I didn't see any indicator of tiers, but there's going to be different types of swords and different types of daggers, and each weapon will have its own perk, like each outfit will have its own perk as well, and they can both be upgraded. Ironbot is asking, did you get to try the nostalgic filter? I don't think we did. And we weren't even prompted to do that, so I think they didn't. It wasn't one of the main features that they wanted to showcase. How do you get the beta preview? Is it from pre-order? Yeah, it was journalist slash content creators and also members of the community though. So it was invitation only, basically. Wait, so the game starts in 861? That just feels wrong. To me, it feels wrong only because it was announced to be 20 years before Valhalla, while in reality it's only 11. But honestly, it's not a big deal. To be honest, it's just a matter of number. What I am more worried about is if they're going to portray Basim only as a youngster, because we're not so much far from the start of Valhalla, and the same goes for Hytham if he's going to appear in the game. Are we going to see Basim train him or not? Because in the relatively small span of 11 years, we have to have Basim grow from street thief to master assassin to be a teacher to Hytham and other recruits. He's going to be the leader of the Constantinople Bureau. So there's going to be a lot of stuff. I'm not sure if they can fit all of that in Mirage. Ryan Duhart, thank you so much for the donation. That's so kind of you. You have a very good question. Any silly dialogue from NPCs like in the Ezio games? Let me think of this. Was there? You did have a look at the footage as well. I don't recall any of that.
We have a very limited.
Yeah, we have played a very limited amount of the game, like for 3.5 hours. But instead, we didn't find silly dialogues yet. But I can counter that with interesting dialogues and Easter eggs. Like there were interesting dialogues that you can find both through cutscenes, but also in Alamut there's this campfire where well, you have seen it in the trailer when Fulad tells the story of the feather, and Sari is going to show you in a few moments. And we did show, and we're going to show you the entirety of the story of the feather. Is not that much more than what you saw in the trailer. And that campfire scene does, I think it's trying to remind a little bit of the campfire scene in Valhalla. But at the same campfire, when you're roaming around Alamut, there are some novices and recruits there telling their own stories or the rumors that they've heard about the main characters. So, have you heard about what Fulad did? Or there are, I don't think there were jokes, but there were references to other characters, and also about Persians riding horses without. I don't recall that. Like there were like stories and stuff, like the kind of stories that you tell at the campfire. And along with that, there were in Alamut there were a number of Easter eggs. I think I counted 3 to 4 references or Easter eggs to different games. One is obviously the reference to the story of the feather. It tells the story of the feather of the heron. It was used in Egypt. That's a reference to Bayek, obviously, and the origins of the Brotherhood in Assassin's Creed Origins. That's very easy. There are references to other stuff. I'm not gonna spoil it too much for you. The Brotherhood that mentioned the idea of having a dual blade is a Brotherhood that we know already of, so that's another reference to another game, etc, etc. We might mention those in the in our upcoming videos. Is the pickpocket time event hard? Asks Rai. It can be both easy and hard depending on the reward you're gonna get. So there's different NPCs that you can pickpocket from, and sometimes it can be very easy, like the area where you can click. It's very like it's huge. It's very big, and you have enough time to click. And there are some narrower areas of the pickpocket game. And in that case, it's tougher to get it right. But if you get it right, you're gonna get a very nice reward, like a token, or what they called the wishes artifact, which are basically collectibles that you can find in the game, and then you have to take back to the wish, who is one of Basim's ally. The drawback or additional interesting element about pickpocketing is that if you get it wrong, you're gonna get spotted by the NPC that you try to pickpocket from, and he's going to tell you to the guards, like he's gonna tell you that you were doing that illegal action, and your notoriety level will raise. So you need to be very careful with your pickpocketing. Even with those, I don't know if I were very skillful or very lucky, but I didn't get any pickpocket wrong. Does the game have animus anomalies? I didn't see any of those. I think I guess it was a misinterpretation in that interview with Arab Hardware from last year, or they removed them completely, or they removed them from the demo that we tested. This isn't exactly a question about Mirage, but what made you love the Assassin's Creed franchise? Asked Megalomaniac. I think it's the mixture of history and present day, the actions on the past having a direct impact on the present day, and vice versa. And this is an amazing segue on a cutscene featuring Roshan and Basim, where they discuss. Can we share that?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
The Daughter of No One cutscene.
Yeah, already.
There is a cutscene that Ubisoft shared with us, and so we can share with you guys. where Roshan and Basim are talking philosophy in a way. They're talking about life. They're talking about the past having an influence on their present. This is the one. And it's not too spoilery. This is just not contextual. It's part of an investigation. And it explains why Roshan calls herself the daughter of no one.
You do not remember.
My memories are buried next time. I refuse.
So basically, Roshan is way more oriented into not having the past influence who she is now, which is exactly what is happening to Basim. Like Basim still has remnants of his past having an influence over him, like stuff that happened in Anbar, but also stuff that happened to his father. Like at the beginning of the prologue in Anbar, he references his father and how he fell to disgrace not because of his choice. Daughter of No One is not a reference to Altair. I mean, as a name, yes, but it's not like Roshan and Altair are related. So she calls herself Daughter of No One. It's a reference to Altair, yes, obviously, because he's son of no one. But yeah. It has a meaning to her. Like, she's trying to keep her past in the past. But I hope that we, one way or another, through the game and through the dedicated novel, we are going to uncover the past anyway, because I really want to know. Sorry, Roshan, but I really want to know anyway. Does the sleep dart work on fire like in Origins? Sadly, we didn't have all the tools at our disposal in the demo that we tested. We did have the smoke bomb, the trap, not the trap. We had the noisemaker, the smoke bomb, and the throwing knives, and we didn't have the trap and the blow dart, so we wouldn't be able to say. There's a bit of banter between Basim and Rebecca. Yeah, that was cute. It wasn't, silly, but there was some banter. Like they are both mocking each other, which is fun. Do we have outfits that are not assassin related, more like NPC outfit? There was a costume, I don't remember its name, but there was a costume that you could buy for a lot of money that I didn't have, and it's a skin that you can have as an overlay on your outfit, and it seemed like it was like a very rich kind of merchant. So yeah, there I did see in the game's database that there are some disguises that are very similar to NPCs, like merchants. So there might be some of those, and I think those will add a lot to the experience of walking amidst the crowd and being part of the crowd, and without being seen. So instead of having the flashy white outfit, which I know it, like, white works in this environment because it doesn't absorb too much the sun and the heat, but still walking like dressed in all white, where everybody else is dressed with super visible colors, and also donning the huge assassin insignia is not it's not the stealthiest of things, while instead when you are wearing a disguise as a merchant, it is way more immersive. Rift in Time is asking, can you tell us anything about the modern day? No, sadly no. Not that there is a lot to talk about. The introduction, the modern day cutscene introduction lasts 30 seconds, 1 minute.
A bit more,
Yeah. Okay, so let's put it like that. The modern day part of the introduction cutscene, it lasts 1 minute, but the introduction cutscene is more like 3 minutes, 2 minutes, something like that. Why was the smoke not red? Because, as you can see right now, there are modifiers to the tools, and the modifier that we had already, and so we couldn't change it. But the modifier that we had was the, what's it called? Cursed, the one that is coming right now. It's the choking fumes. So basically, this has the enemies choke on the smoke bomb, and all the variations of the smoke bomb, they have different colors. So as you can see, there's green, there's orange, there's the original red, there's
You're going a bit mad now.
yeah, I am mad. There's this sort of like pink, and then there's the incendiary kind of smoke bomb. There are no bows, David. You have a very good eagle vision. The only ranged weapon that deals damage in the game are the throwing knives. So everything ranged is designed around them. So there you can throw the throwing knives to hit, like to headshot kill guards. You can throw them in mid-air as you would throw, shoot arrows in mid-air. Now you're throwing knives. So that is the only ranged weapon we have that deals damage, because we have other ranged tools. Like most of the tools can be thrown. I think all of them. So there is that. So no bow. The rooftop guards, they do have bows though. Why is this video being shown before its release? Isn't this not allowed from Ubisoft?
I was answering.
Oh, okay, so Sari is answering you already. So at the end of Valhalla, Layla and the Reader, says Pratik, they are trying to calculate various possibilities on Desmond's choice in 2012. Do you feel we might get some of the distorted modern world story in the future? Maybe in the future. I honestly don't know what the future holds after Mirage. We do know Codename Red is coming, but we do not know in which context it's going to come, because Red will be the first game released through the Assassin's Creed Infinity platform, and we do know that the modern day in Assassin's Creed Infinity will be asynchronous from the games, so it will happen with its own frequency. It will not be tied to the events shown, to the historical events shown in the games. It will have its own story happening at its own rate, at its own pace, and at its own time. So we do not know what kind of modern day will happen after Mirage. And we do not know anything, or almost anything about the modern day within Mirage. Probably also because Mirage, that modern day is not the focus on Mirage. It's not the focus on the games in general. In this case, it's not the focus at all. Like, this is about Basim, and show how Basim went from the street thief to the Basim that we see in Valhalla. Can there be only one effect in place for the smoke bomb? Actually, each tool, like the modifiers for the tools, there's 3 tiers for each tool, and you can select one option from each tier after you unlock the tiers. The tiers, they have different types of modifiers. Like tier 1 is about quantity and performance. Like you can select if you want, in the example of the smoke bomb, you can select if you want to have 2 more smoke bombs in your pouch, or if you want your smoke bomb to have a wider radius, or if you can throw it further from you. So this is more about quantity and performance. The second tier is more about the effects, and the third also, but there's different types of effects. Like tier 2 is more about effects that involve behavior on targets, like the noisemaker or the throwing. And I think the noisemaker can scare people off and they can run away. I already forgot about all the combinations. The noisemaker, and there are instead the third tier is more about sort of like an impact on enemies, or like a direct effect on enemies, like a tangible effect on enemies. Like the third tier of the noisemaker, when you throw the noisemaker, it can create a shockwave that throws the enemies away. The smoke bomb, the third tier, is it features the incendiary smoke bomb. So if you throw the smoke bomb over a flame, whatever kind of flame it is, it will spread the fumes of the smoke bomb and turn them into fire for all the enemies that are nearby. So the different tiers imply different effects, and from each tier you can select a single modifier. Is the parkour a lot quicker than the last 3 entries? I'm gonna say it's quicker. It is faster, a little more agile. I wouldn't say a lot quicker. I wouldn't say much quicker. You think they will find a way to monetize the tokens needed to hire NPCs? I hope not. And also, I think they might monetize that through time savers. I think we were discussing this in our Discord earlier today. You can, like, if you want to have these tokens that you can use for for the mercenaries or for the musicians or for the characters in the story, and you want to have many of them so you can have your pouch full from the start and thus select all the available options, you can pay this amount of money. It's a time saver. They've had time savers in our games since Syndicate, probably. I remember time savers in Syndicate, maybe Unity as well. So I wouldn't be surprised at all. Do you have any footage for the codex? The answer is we can't show it. Let's go with that. I'm worried about Red. I mean, it sounds great at the moment, but I'm afraid of the over-the-top combat with big effects, giant weapons, enemies flying everywhere. We'll see about that. I'm not so sure about that. We'll see if Quebec will keep to its flamboyant kind of style from its recent outings, including Immortals Phoenix Rising and its sequel that was cancelled to allow Red to be developed. But yeah, is there a distrust area like in Valhalla? They're not called distrust areas, but they are the orange zones. They're called investigation areas. I haven't found a distrust area. Like in this area, if they spot you, they're gonna attack you. So this is more like a red area, even if the mission is in orange. But this is a very much restricted kind of area, the one that we're seeing on screen. I don't recall an orange area. I love the concept of distrust areas, because these are the areas in Valhalla where you could stealth your way through it, but there was a higher level of attention by the guards. So if you misstepped, they would be all over you. And in a way, you can have the entire world as a distrust area through the notoriety system in the game. Like, I know it's not the same, but if you get to level 1 or 2 in the game of the notoriety, that will be like NPCs and also guards will spot you in an easier way.
Search for the notoriety.
Oh, you're looking for the notoriety, okay. So in a way, you can do that artificially. I don't recall. Maybe there are, and I didn't see any of them. But yes. And yes, Blueberry Cupcake, they are bringing back the notoriety system. As you can see, There is a bar. It is now underneath my head, but it's a 3-level bar. Let's have my my head disappear. There it is. Can we go back? Or no, let's. Oh, it's fine. Okay. So basically, as you can see now, in at this point in the footage, I had a level 1 notoriety. If I had the proper token, I could go to the town crier and bribe them and lower my my notoriety level. Let's go on. If we go back to the air assassination from earlier.
Yeah. That's good.
Okay, so as you can see, this air assassination is in front of all the NPCs, and your notoriety level, it is raised if the NPCs see you. It's not only the guards, it's also the normal NPCs that are just passing by. You are doing something very illegal, it scares them off, and it means that you are becoming more known for doing something really wrong. And when you get at least to level 1 of notoriety, there's going to be like wanted posters are going to appear in the city, and you'll be able to tear them off like in the original games. Hello Troopage! Is parkour holding the cross button as with the recent entries, or R2 as with the older ones? I think it's with X, even because R2 or RT is usually used for the tool's wheel, so it's only X. It's the parkour button. Are there any other over-the-top magical skills similar to that assassin-focused chain assassination? No, not that I remember. I don't know why, but they kept the Spartan kick, which was turned from Odyssey, which was turned into the kick of Tyr in Valhalla. I don't know why they kept that. Of all the abilities from Valhalla, I don't know why they kept that, but that's still there. I don't know if you consider that's over the top. You kick an enemy that falls. So I'm not sure if that's over the top. Other than that, now the Assassin's Focus ability, it has animus effects, so it's a little more bearable visually. I still don't buy the thing about the Basim, not the Basim. There she is, the Assassin's Focus ability. I still do not buy at all the justification about Basim being too fast for the animus to process, and that's why there's this animus effect that justifies while we're teleporting from here to there. But anyway, anyway, I don't think there are any other fantasy-like abilities. Maybe there are some fantasy-like effects to the tools, though. Like there is one of the effects of the smoke bombs. One of the ones that you find later on is called Mind Slayer. I don't remember, something like that, and it basically causes guards in the radius of the smoke bomb to forget completely about Basim. So that's a little over the top in that regard. Six is asking, where were the black box missions like the ones in Unity, lots of approaches, or more like the ones in Siege of Paris, one approach? I'm gonna say lots of opportunities. I did test only one. It was the one in the bazaar in the Kark district. The bazaar is this huge area, and it involved us going to an auction of rare artifacts, not pieces of Eden, just, you know, artifacts from the east. There were ceramics, there were other stuff, and you had to find a way to get in the first in the fair that is happening at the bazaar, and that you do throughout the investigation prior to the black box mission, and then you have to find a way to get to the auction when you are within the bazaar. And there are multiple opportunities in there. Like there are friends that you have found throughout the investigation, and there are other people. So basically, if you interact with the various opportunities, you will have better knowledge to use, not only at the auction but also later. So let's put it like this: you enter the bazaar and you have different opportunities. These opportunities you can have some of them, or you can do all of them. These opportunities, they converge to the auction, and then after the auction something happens. You realize who your target is, and then from there still are a few possibilities as to how to get to the target, and then you get to the target again. So it's this specific black box mission was like that. It's not like all the black box missions in the game are like that, or might be like that. I have no idea. But yes, like it's it's not like it's a single approach, but there are moments where the various opportunities, they converge on a single linear path, and then they branch off again, and then they converge again. Sometimes you can only choose one single approach, and then you go on. There are times where within the black box mission where the story is testing something that you might or might not have. It's not tokens. There are also moments where the black box mission asks you if you have a token or not. So yeah, there's the final outcome will be the same. Obviously, you're gonna assassinate the target, but the way you do that and the way you get to the final moment might be different. So it really is like a playground. And on that note, I think that we're gonna get closer to the end. If you have some very final questions, this is the moment to ask them. I'm gonna go through the final ones that you have shared right now. Otherwise, we're gonna get towards the end. Are the counter kill animations more in line with Unity or Valhalla? I'm gonna say they're more in line with maybe with Valhalla, but they are different animations. Like the counter kill animations, they are different. They are new. And they are based on the weapons that Basim has. So this huge scimitar-like sword and the dagger. So they are a little different from the counter kill animations or the finisher kills by Eivor. Many explosives in that city. Which city? What did we have explosives? Not Mirage, but is Basim going to become the Desmond or Layla of the series? I have no idea. I wouldn't be able to answer that. Does changing the costume lower your notoriety? Yes, apparently it will do. Will with some specific costumes in some specific environments. That will happen, which is going to be the closest thing to the persona system in Assassin's Creed Liberation, which is something that I loved to read about. I wasn't able to test it. What's about the Isu lore? Did we see more about the Isu in Mirage? No, I didn't see anything about the Isu other than a tiny little note during a loading screen. And it basically said who the Isu are. Were you able to use any other sword or dagger? If so, can you say what was the difference between one and the other? I can tell you the difference without having tested them. Basically, apart from the visuals, obviously the different swords will look different, but each weapon will have, each outfit will have its own perk, and each weapon will have its own stat, or its own type of stat and its type of perk, which will be upgradable. So the difference will be the different types of stats and how those can be upgraded. So there's no additional depth to that. Let's put it like that. Will Cassandra make a cameo? I hope not, because Basim gets to see about Cassandra in the crossover. So, and it seems like from the crossover Valhalla versus Odyssey, it seems like Basim had not met Cassandra earlier. So, final question is by Troopage and then Dasha Khan. What's your least favorite thing in the game and your favorite? Asks Troopage. That's a very good question to end the stream on. Thank you for selecting that, Sari, and thank you, Troopage, for asking that. My least favorite thing from my demo, from my hands-on time with the game, was it was two actually, but they were like minor nuisances because I wouldn't say parkour because I expected and knew that parkour would not be like Unity, so I wasn't disappointed. So what I disliked about the game was it's minor nuisances, but like the camera when you are in the rooftop gardens, like the hiding spots on the rooftops, sometimes with the bigger ones, the camera zooms in and you can't see anything. Like you can't see where the guards are moving. It didn't happen with all the rooftop gardens, but it did happen, and it was very frustrating. I didn't know where they were coming from and if I could assassinate any of them. And another gripe that I have, there's two. Another gripe that I have is with the throwing knives. I did mention that in our video. The aiming of the throwing knives is magnetized towards the enemies, which is nice because it gets you closer to where you want to throw your throwing knife. But at the same time, when there's two guards, and especially if they are moving, and you're trying to get one of them, and you're trying to get a headshot to one of them, while they're moving, the magnetization of the aim, it goes awry. Like it goes from one to the other and you can't control it. It keeps sticking to one and the other, and you don't feel like you are in control. And then, like I mentioned earlier, there are fetch quests within the main investigations, which I didn't really like, even though I did like the stealth missions that those fetch quests implied. So,
And your favorite?
Oh, my favorite, I forgot about that. My favorite, I did mention it earlier, it was gameplay rather than story, because I didn't see a lot of story. In terms of gameplay, what I loved is the mixture, like being able to mix and match with the stealth, assassination, and tools systems. Like,
I was afraid you were going to answer the bench assassination.
and the bench assassination. Like, if I have to choose one specific thing, it's the bench assassination. But in general, the most satisfying moment was when I was able to actually manipulate the world, in that specific case the guards, into going and doing what I expect them to do, so that I could enact a strategy that I had planned. So that was the main satisfaction that I got from that, without any system going awry as it was with Valhalla. Like with Valhalla, you could have a stealth strategy, and then the detection could go anywhere. Like you could get spotted at any time, and your strategy would go in the bin. And I really didn't feel that any time in my almost 4 hours of gameplay. So I think that was the final question. And now, before we wrap up the stream, I think it's time for the Dasha Cam.
Oh yeah.
And the Canon Cam. So for those of you who might not know, we have 2 dogs in here. They are our...
Turn it on here.
What?
You turn it on in.
Okay. In there. Okay. So we have Dasha, who is our oldie. She's 12 years old? And a bit, almost 13. And then we have our boyo, our Canon, who is this huge puppy that we have here. So, and in every of our streams, we always show them. And there you go, the boyo is here. So Canon obviously we called him Canon for multiple reasons, but there he is. He gets bigger every single time. We still have our tiny little gate for him to avoid him destroying our door, but he's still behaving, sort of. So yes, it's doggo content time, and there is the boyo. Then let me turn this off. Are we showing Dasha as well? Okay. It disappeared though. Mom, it disappeared. So yeah, he's grown a lot. He grows every single time we show it to Sari. The cat. Oh, okay, there we go. Okay, so let's have a look at the oldie. I think you should see her. She is going away, and as you can see, he wants to steal the show anyway. So yeah, we didn't have that much time to see Dasha, but she was in the background, and there we go. So, guys, thank you so much. Huge thanks to you, Zark, for the additional donation. Thank you so much. You are so kind. You are saying grazie for the stream. I actually say grazie to you for all the help, the support that you have provided to us over the last few months and years, and also with the donation. Thank you so much, Zark, for everything you have done with us and for us. And again, guys, thank you so much for joining us in this live stream where we discussed Assassin's Creed Mirage and everything we have tested, or I should say some of the things that we have tested, because there is so much more we haven't shared yet, because we weren't able to fit all of that in a single video. We have a lot to share in the coming days, probably another video of first impressions about other topics, smaller and not smaller topics, and the black box mission itself. So you can keep your eyes out on our channel in the coming days. We also have shared bits and bobs of videos on our Twitter account as well. So if you'd like to have a look at more Assassin's Creed Mirage footage, you can have a look at that as well. Once again, guys, thank you so much for joining us. Have fun wherever you are. Take care, and I'll see you very soon. Bye!